9 habits you must work on every day. Have you ever realized that a simple decision can transform everything around you? It might sound like an exaggeration, but it's not. Every little choice we make has an impact, sometimes immediate, other times only visible further down the road. Take, for example, the story of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-king. In the midst of war, he faced a critical decision: to retreat or advance in a decisive battle. He could have chosen the easy and safe route, but instead he opted for what was right and just for the good of the people, even knowing the personal cost. This kind of decision is what defines Stoicism in practice: seeing beyond the moment, finding opportunity within challenge, and acting with purpose. The question is, are we doing the same in our own lives? When we have the chance to choose between resistance and learning, are we choosing to grow? Think about the small moments in daily life: a difficult conversation, a critique at work, an uncertain decision. What if, in every challenging situation, you could see an opportunity for personal strength? Stoicism isn't about constantly preparing for grand battles. It's actually about using every situation, big or small, as a tool for personal development. Imagine if today you decided to face that personal issue you've been putting off. And what if you chose to do it with courage and calm? It's not just about solving the issue. It's about training your mind to see opportunities where you once saw only obstacles. So let me ask you, what are you choosing? What if today you made a conscious choice to see beyond the challenge? It's this daily decision that shapes our path. We're not alone in this. Everyone faces moments of fear and uncertainty, but Stoicism reminds us that we have control over how we respond to these situations. It doesn't have to be grand. What if you decided to face a small discomfort, one that brings growth? As the Stoics say, each act is preparation for the next challenge. So I invite you to try it. Choose a situation from your day and see how you can turn it into an opportunity. Do it today and then let me know. What was the impact? And do you know what's even more powerful than recognizing the impact of our decisions? The attitude we choose to adopt in each of these moments. When we think about it, our perspective on challenges makes all the difference. It's not just about choosing to grow, but about how we choose to view life as we make those choices. And this is where one of the greatest strengths of Stoicism comes in: the ability to maintain a positive attitude even when circumstances seem difficult. But how is this possible? Let's take a closer look. Habit 1. The importance of a positive attitude. Stoicism teaches us that a positive attitude is more than simply looking on the bright side. It's the practice of approaching each situation with resilience and gratitude. This outlook isn't about denying problems, but about choosing how we react to them. When we adopt a positive attitude, we're actually training our minds to look beyond difficulties and see the potential for growth in every situation. Think about the hardships you've faced. They might have been tough days at work, personal or health challenges. Stoicism reminds us that even in these moments, we have the chance to practice virtues like patience, courage, and gratitude. One of the pillars of Stoic philosophy is exactly this: to view challenges as opportunities to exercise the best within ourselves. Imagine, for example, a situation where someone was unfair to you. Instead of reacting with anger, you could choose to see it as a chance to practice patience and calm. This doesn't mean ignoring what happened, but rather deciding how this experience will impact your attitude and feelings. By responding with serenity, you keep control over what truly matters, your own inner peace. And there's more. Gratitude also plays a central role here. The Stoics believed that by recognizing the good, even in difficult moments, we create a foundation of positivity that strengthens us. Gratitude helps us value what we have, stay focused on what's essential, and view life with more generous and less reactive eyes. Now a thought: why not try practicing this today? Face a challenge with this new perspective. Next time you feel an obstacle arise, take a deep breath, think about what you can learn from it, and above all, be grateful for this chance to exercise your own strength. After all, as Stoicism says, true power lies in knowing how to choose our attitude, no matter what happens around us. Choosing our attitude in the face of challenges is a powerful Stoic practice. So how about considering how that attitude impacts the way we communicate with others? After all, a positive and resilient attitude doesn't just transform our own experience, it also enhances the quality of our interactions. For the Stoics, clear, respectful, and empathetic communication was essential to building more meaningful relationships. Let's explore how this philosophy can transform the way we connect with people around us. Habit 2. Effective communication from a Stoic perspective. For the Stoics, communication isn't just about speaking well or persuading someone of something. It's about listening, understanding, and conveying ideas with respect and honesty. Effective communication begins with active listening, a practice that many Stoic philosophers considered fundamental. Truly listening to someone means giving them our attention, not thinking about our response as they speak, but instead seeking to understand their words, intentions, and emotions. When we cultivate this ability to listen with empathy, we create space for clearer and more respectful communication. Imagine a moment of conflict with someone close to you. Instead of reacting immediately, the Stoics advise us to pause, listen, and reflect on what the other person is saying, aiming to understand before responding. This practice not only improves dialogue, but also strengthens bonds, as it shows genuine respect and consideration. Another key aspect is clarity and honesty. For the Stoics, speaking truthfully is essential because honesty creates a solid foundation for any relationship. However, this doesn't mean being blunt or insensitive. Instead, it means choosing words that foster understanding and help others see reality constructively. Honest and respectful dialogue can open doors, resolve misunderstandings, and even prevent future conflicts. Think about how you've been communicating lately. How often do you pause and really listen? How often do you choose words thoughtfully, aiming to be both clear and kind? Stoic philosophy invites us to consider the positive impact our words can have on others' lives. Imagine each conversation as an opportunity to foster understanding, build a true connection, and inspire the best in everyone we interact with. Why not try this in your next conversation? Listen actively, think about your words, and aim for clarity. The practice of effective communication transforms not only our relationships with others, but also the peace we carry within ourselves. Effective communication reminds us of the value of acting with attention and respect in every interaction. And when we talk about daily dedication, another practice becomes essential: self-discipline. In Stoic philosophy, self-discipline is like a compass, keeping our goals and values front and center, even in the face of distractions and challenges. Let's explore why cultivating this discipline is one of the greatest secrets to a full and virtuous life. Stoic Habit 3. Self-discipline and consistency. For the Stoics, self-discipline is more than just completing tasks. It's the foundation of a strong character and a tool that enables us to pursue our goals with focus and persistence. But what does it really mean to practice self-discipline? It means understanding that each small action, every continuous effort, and every decision in favor of our values are like bricks that build our character. Discipline becomes a daily habit that shapes who we are and prepares us for greater challenges. Think about your long-term goals. Whether it's aiming for a healthy life, pursuing a professional project, or achieving a personal dream, we all know these accomplishments require more than motivation. Motivation excites us at the start, but it's self-discipline that sustains us when days get tough, when rewards aren't immediate, and when distractions arise. True transformation comes from the ability to act consistently, to choose commitment, and to do what's necessary even when we don't feel like it. One of the greatest Stoic teachings on discipline is this ability to align actions with our values and goals, without letting temporary things divert us from what is lasting. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this in his Meditations, reminding us that self-control and discipline not only bring us closer to our goals, but also make us better people, stronger and more prepared for what lies ahead. Now, a question for reflection. How is your daily practice of discipline going? It doesn't have to be something grand. The Stoics believed that discipline starts with small things, waking up on time, keeping a commitment, or taking that step that brings us closer to our goals. When we repeat these actions day after day, discipline stops being just an effort and becomes part of who we are. So how about making this commitment to yourself? Choose one practice to maintain and repeat it, regardless of circumstances, knowing that each day this effort strengthens your determination and builds a virtuous character. After all, true strength comes from consistency and the ability to walk steadily in the direction of our values, one step at a time. Self-discipline teaches us to act with firmness and focus, but along with it comes another transformative element, our mindset in the face of challenges. With a disciplined mind, we can go far, but when we combine that with a growth mindset, we begin to see opportunities where before there were only obstacles. This is one of the core teachings of Stoicism. Changing the way we interpret what happens around us can transform our lives and bring us true peace. Let's look at how this shift in mindset can strengthen us. Habit 4. Mindset shift. The Stoics teach us that more important than the circumstances we face is how we choose to respond to them. A mindset shift begins with a simple question: is there another way to view what I'm facing? Once we accept that challenges are a part of life and can be opportunities to develop patience, resilience, and inner peace, our perspective on them begins to change. Imagine a situation where you're facing an unexpected problem. Your first impulse might be to feel frustrated, but what if you chose to see this situation as a chance to practice calm and clarity? As the Stoics remind us, we don't have control over what happens, but we do have control over how we react. This kind of mindset shift empowers us. Instead of being victims of circumstances, we become authors of our own story, able to find meaning even in the most challenging situations. This practice brings real benefits. By seeing challenges as opportunities, we cultivate a sense of peace because we stop fighting against what we can't control and start focusing on how we can grow from what happens. Marcus Aurelius wrote that an adaptable and flexible mind remains at peace as it views difficulties as part of the process of strengthening. Now, think about a challenge you're currently facing. Is there a way to view it as a workout for your mind? Perhaps as an opportunity to practice patience, build resilience, or find a new angle to approach the situation. Every small shift in perspective helps us build a mindset that isn't shaken by circumstances, but is strengthened by them. So why not take this step? By choosing a new way to see obstacles, you're not only shifting your mindset, but also building a life filled with more purpose and inner peace. After all, as the Stoics well knew, true power lies in knowing that regardless of circumstances, we have the freedom to choose how to face them. Transforming how we see challenges is an important step, but Stoicism invites us to go even deeper. It reminds us that, to live a purposeful life, we need to value what is truly essential, and nothing is more essential than our time. Each moment is a unique opportunity, and the Stoics teach us that using it consciously can be the key to a full life. Let's see how Stoic wisdom helps us focus on what really matters. Habit 5. The value of time and prioritizing the essential. In Stoicism, time is seen as our most precious asset because it's a resource that once spent never returns. Seneca, in his writings, reminds us that we often neglect time, letting it slip away on activities that add little or nothing to our lives. The question is clear. Are we dedicating time to what really matters, or are we just passing through the days without thinking? For the Stoics, living well means using time intentionally. This doesn't mean filling our schedules with commitments, but rather choosing wisely where we place our attention. The idea is that time should be invested in activities aligned with our values and goals. These choices give meaning to our days and ultimately to our lives. One important practice Stoicism recommends is to take regular pauses to reflect. These pauses allow us to assess whether we're truly dedicating our time to what's essential or merely being distracted by things that don't truly matter. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius speaks about the need to constantly question what truly deserves our focus and energy. By doing this, we keep our lives on track and avoid the regrets that come from poorly spent time. Now, here's a suggestion to put this into practice. Take a moment to reflect on how you're using your time. Is there something you'd like to dedicate more energy to? Maybe it's investing in an important relationship, learning something new, or even finding time for rest and inner peace. Stoicism reminds us that pauses and self-care are essential as they help us recharge and refocus on what truly matters. The question to consider is, what is essential to you? And how can you start today to put more time and energy into what you truly value? Remember that time is the foundation of our lives. By using it consciously, we are building a path filled with meaning and purpose. When we value our time and dedicate it to the essentials, we open ourselves up to one of life's most enriching experiences: continuous growth through knowledge. For the Stoics, the pursuit of wisdom is more than a goal. It's a constant journey of learning, reflection, and practical application. Let's explore how curiosity and the desire to understand the world and ourselves more deeply can be powerful paths to transformation. Marcus Aurelius. Habit 6. Growth of knowledge and curiosity. Stoicism has always valued knowledge, but not as an end in itself. For the Stoics, wisdom should be practical, applied daily to improve one's life and contribute to the world around us. Epictetus, for example, said that true wisdom lies in using what we learn to live in accordance with our values and principles. The idea is that the more we know, the greater our responsibility to apply this knowledge to become better people. Curiosity, in this sense, is a natural and vital impulse. It drives us to question, seek answers, and expand our perspectives. And this thirst for knowledge shouldn't be limited to a specific field. We can learn from philosophy, science, art, and even the small lessons that everyday life offers. Each new discovery, reflection, or reading is an opportunity to expand our understanding and enrich our worldview. But knowledge growth becomes meaningful only when we put what we learn into practice. Imagine, for instance, reading about the importance of patience. This concept becomes real when you apply it in a moment of impatience or conflict, putting the wisdom you acquired into action. This is the difference between accumulating knowledge and truly learning from it. Here's a suggestion for this journey toward wisdom. Take a moment each day to read something that fuels your curiosity and reflect on how it might apply to your life. Ask yourself, how can this new idea improve the way I live? What can I learn from it to better contribute to those around me? This habit, even if small, creates a constant cycle of evolution where each bit of knowledge becomes personal growth and inspiration. Think about it. Curiosity is the starting point, and practice is the destination. How about choosing to learn something new today and finding a way to apply it? When we view knowledge as a tool for transformation, it stops being mere information and becomes a true force for change. The knowledge we acquire and apply enriches us in many ways. And speaking of wealth, Stoicism also offers a unique perspective on what it truly means to be rich. For the Stoics, true wealth doesn't come from material accumulation, but from the ability to live with simplicity, contentment, and wisdom in how we use our resources. Let's explore this powerful approach to balanced and fulfilling financial life. Habit 7. Financial management and contentment. In Stoic philosophy, wealth is not measured by what we have, but by our ability to be happy with what we already possess. This perspective helps us understand that true financial security comes from wise and balanced management of our resources, not from an endless desire to accumulate more. Seneca, for instance, said that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. And this is an idea that sets us free. Stoic contentment encourages us to value simplicity. Rather than seeking satisfaction in material acquisitions or an extravagant lifestyle, the Stoics teach that we can find peace by focusing on our values and what truly matters. When we choose to live simply, we're also choosing a life that is more controlled and less vulnerable to the pressures of consumption and comparison. This self-control is a powerful form of freedom, allowing us to focus on our priorities without being driven by the impulse to have more. Moreover, wise financial management sees money as a tool, not as an end in itself. With this perspective, each financial choice is made intentionally, reflecting our values and bringing us closer to a fulfilling life aligned with our principles. This practice teaches us to invest consciously, avoid unnecessary debt, and build security that doesn't depend on luxuries, but on intelligent and moderate choices. Here's a practice that might help. Take a moment to assess how you're currently using your resources. Ask yourself, does this truly contribute to my satisfaction and growth, or is it just a distraction? By doing so, you start prioritizing the essentials, seeing value in what you already have, and directing your money toward what truly matters. It's this contentment, combined with prudence, that the Stoics would call true wealth. After all, being rich means being at peace with the choices we make and in control of our needs. So, how about starting to practice this Stoic vision of wealth today? Every financial decision is an opportunity to build a life of contentment, where what matters is not how much we own, but how much we value what we have. With a Stoic approach to wealth and satisfaction, we see that true abundance comes from what we build internally. And this brings us to one of life's most profound themes, our purpose. For the Stoics, living in alignment with our highest values is what gives meaning to our existence. Let's explore how self-knowledge and discipline are essential on this journey of personal development and purpose. Habit 8. Personal development and purpose. Stoicism invites us to look within and seek to understand who we are and what we truly want from life. Self-knowledge is the starting point of this journey because only by knowing our values and identifying what really matters to us can we establish a clear and genuine purpose. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's great representatives, believed that our highest mission is to be true to our own nature, following a path that reflects our deepest principles. Finding purpose is a journey that requires courage and, above all, discipline. Having a purpose means knowing where we want to go, but it's discipline that keeps us on the path. It won't always be easy, and this is where resilience comes in, staying focused on values and acting with determination, even when results don't appear immediately. For the Stoics, this is true personal development, a transformation that happens through continuous practice, daily dedication, and commitment to what we believe is right. Consider how this might apply to your own life. Maybe you already have a clear purpose, or perhaps you're still discovering what truly moves your heart. The important thing to remember is that purpose doesn't need to be grand. It can be found in small things, in daily actions that align with our values and gradually bring more meaning to our lives. A practical suggestion: take a moment to reflect on your values and ask yourself, are my actions today in harmony with what I truly value? How can I adjust my routine so that each step brings me closer to my purpose? It's this practice of aligning actions and values that builds an authentic and meaningful path of personal development. So why not start this journey of purpose? By seeking self-knowledge, cultivating discipline, and acting with resilience, you'll be building a life filled with both achievements and inner peace and satisfaction. After all, as Stoicism teaches, true success isn't about how much we accomplish, but about how our actions reflect who we are and the positive impact we leave around us. Discovering and following our purpose allows us to live aligned with what truly matters. And one practice that strengthens this journey is gratitude. For the Stoics, gratitude is more than a feeling. It's a conscious choice to recognize the value of every experience, whether positive or challenging. Let's explore how gratitude can transform our mindset and strengthen our relationships. Habit 9, the practice of gratitude. In Stoicism, gratitude is an essential value because it helps us appreciate each moment and understand that everything we experience contributes to our growth. The Stoics believed that true gratitude goes beyond being thankful for good things. It involves recognizing the value of challenges because they teach us resilience, patience, and courage. This deeper view of gratitude reminds us not to take anything for granted and to find lessons even in the most difficult situations. Imagine, for example, that you've had a week filled with obstacles and setbacks. The first impulse might be to feel frustrated, but Stoicism invites us to take a step back and reflect, what can I learn from this experience? Instead of focusing on what went wrong, try recognizing the growth opportunity that each situation brought. This is how gratitude becomes a practice that transforms our mindset. Instead of reacting negatively, we begin to see challenges as tools for evolution. Cultivating gratitude also strengthens our relationships. When we're grateful for the people around us and for what they bring into our lives, we show appreciation and value, which deepens bonds and promotes more genuine connections. This practice allows us to see beyond imperfections and appreciate qualities and positive moments, contributing to more harmonious and meaningful relationships. Why not try practicing gratitude? Take a few minutes each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, the small victories as well as the challenges. It could be at the end of the day, jotting down 3 things that were valuable or brought some lesson. This simple habit of reflecting and giving thanks strengthens a mindset of contentment and creates a sense of inner peace that transcends circumstances. After all, true wealth lies in valuing what we already have and learning from what life brings us. By adopting this Stoic practice of gratitude, we're not only cultivating a more positive outlook, but also becoming stronger and more prepared for the journeys ahead. Throughout this journey, we've seen how Stoic values can transform our lives, from how we view challenges to our relationship with time, knowledge, and even the people around us. If you've made it this far, it's because the desire for growth and self-knowledge is already a part of who you are. Let's conclude with an invitation to continue on this path of learning, alongside a community that shares these ideals. Stoicism is a philosophy of life that reminds us every day that we can be better, that we have the power to act with purpose, and that our actions shape the impact we leave on the world. Every concept discussed here, the value of time, the practice of gratitude, the pursuit of self-knowledge and resilience in the face of adversity, is part of a larger commitment, the commitment to continuous growth. This commitment doesn't have to be a solitary one. Today, There's a global Stoic community made up of people who, like you, strive to live more fully and in alignment with their values. By connecting with other practitioners, you'll find not only inspiration, but also support, encouragement, and new perspectives. Learning becomes even richer when shared, and the experience of living Stoicism is strengthened when we are part of something bigger than ourselves. The invitation is simple. Keep exploring, questioning, and applying Stoicism in your daily life. There are countless resources, books, groups, discussions that can help you deepen your knowledge and strengthen this practice. And by engaging with this community, you contribute to the ongoing positive impact Stoic philosophy has on people's lives. So why not take the next step? Join discussions, share your reflections, and keep learning, remembering that every small action counts in this journey of growth. Because in the end, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy. It's a path of evolution, a commitment to our best selves, and a contribution we leave to the world. Shall we go forward together? May this journey be just the beginning of a life that's more conscious, resilient, and rich with meaning.